Cheers, VC.
Hello.
Cheers, Veronica.
Oh, hold on. Cheers. You realize that looked like you about to eat watermelon?
Oh, looks like Chewbacca's eating watermelon.
Yeah, about. Yeah.
Classy cups in the VC.
Yay! Because we're adults.
So this month has been not fun, in the sense that it's about to be October, and in the South here in what'd you do?
It's a city that.
Oh, no worries. That's a Grateful Dead CD. No worries. That's the other one of those. It's a 2-disc. World Won't End, right?
My fault.
But so, yeah, it's 1 billion degrees in South Carolina. It's really quite unpleasant.
It does not feel like fall at all.
No, it's not. It's not fall yet. I haven't put. No, it's just miserable, right? So, your boy's been deadbeat tired and trying to take care of some things in life. So I have not gotten around to as many contests as I usually do. I like to spread the love, and I like to support everyone in the VC because everyone deserves love and support. So I'm trying to sneak some in under the wire here. And one of those I'm trying to sneak in under the wire is there's Motoric 24/7. 247, 247. I'll roll with 24/7, right? So he seems like a good dude. I've discovered him through this contest, right? I'd actually just watched his video before one of my favorite VCers, you know, the Tales from the Crate shirt I have, looks like Tales from the Crate green, right? That gentleman, Andrew, is a good dude, right? And so he put him on blast, not in a negative sense, but in the sense that, you know, showcased him, right? So, good guy. Dig his tunes. I've been watching his videos. Knowledgeable on jazz. A little intimidating as a jazz nubile, a guy who's ever learning, right? He has a top 5 jazz records, is what he wants seen. Non-Coltrane, right? So I stashed that gift from old, yeah, looking in the cameras, like looking in the mirror. That John Coltrane is a gift from my boy Jeff Kempin. So I kind of hid that in there as a little, wish I could use that, because I don't know enough about jazz. So, you know, we're probably new to each other, so I'm going to show some top 5s roundabout, and then motor my way, you like that pun? Motor. I'm going to motor my way through some jazz. It's been a while since I did it. I did one with you recently, where we were sitting on the couch with a bunch of sealed shrink stuff, mostly from Pharmacy Records.
But the popular one was the one with John.
Well,
So,
no, John was just random. I just did that. We just happened to be needle dropping on some John Coltrane in our shit, right?
But it's getting popular now. I feel like now they're gonna see this one. It's like, what's John?
That actually has nothing to do with anything. What's
Veronica do?
She's upset. John. People like John. You know, she's like, oh,
I love him too.
why don't I get 300 views overnight? This is preposterous. But your videos just get like, even when they're contest videos that people don't want to watch, they just slowly creep up. Which I want to say, there's probably just like 7 people that watch you a bunch of times.
Probably.
Yeah. So it's just fine, right? Well, you're pretty and you sew. So they're just like, I want to domesticate her. She's not domesticated in the sense that she's not tamed. She's a wild animal. Meow, like a tiger, you know? But so, what's the spin? Donald Byrd stepping in tomorrow. All right, so that's going to be on the background. Hopefully it's just loud enough for you guys to hear it. Maybe I'll turn it up one more peg.
Just an inch.
All right. So nothing else right here. Or, you know, Donald Byrd has a habit of having people cameo and sneaking in vocals, and some people don't like that with jazz. And it's whatever. And how I got into jazz a little bit roundabout. So before I get in kind of my top 5 or whatever, right? So I kind of got into jazz, like, you know, through funk. Your boy has always liked the funk. So anything that kind of has jazz, funky elements, brass or horn section, even if it's rock-oriented, right? There's a bunch of blood, sweat, and tears you can pull out. They had a bunch of lineup changes and 3 main eras of error.
Error on your
era, like a time era, you know. So they've had like 3 different eras of musical singers, right? I grabbed this because if you're new to my channel, you might not know I love weird album covers, and this Child is Father to the Man is brilliant with these kind of ventriloquist puppy creepiness of their own images and likeness. So that's how I kind of got into jazz, right? And then some stuff that's kind of jazz fusion I dig. You know, when you discover stuff through soundtracks, like the Crusaders, you usually don't associate with like true jazz. It's more jazz fusion. But some stuff like Quentin Tarantino soundtrack, Street Life. I actually have the Crusaders, the vocal album. But I discovered that. By the way, Vinyl Storage Solutions. I'm sorry I never got around to making a video. Won these in the contest. These things are all sorts of nice. You get, I guess it's kind of, you get what you pay for. They're a little bit pricey, but if you buy them in bulk, it's a price down. But at some point, I'm probably gonna just bite the bullet and buy a bunch of these and convert my record collection. I really love the outer sleeves for
this.
We've
been talking about the outer sleeves.
Yeah, outer sleeves, and I need to step up my cleaning game, right? But anyway, so this is just some Crusaders. I'm not really getting into my top 5, right? So I just showing you kind of what got me into jazz, still a jazz nubile. And this isn't so much and if I don't make the standards for this contest, that's fine. I just want to show love. So there's no worries or thirst for winning a prize. I'm not trying to get anything for free. This is all about spreading the love. But this is also kind of like a extension of help me please. If you like something, let me know. If you gather by my musical taste of something I might be into, then hey, give me a shout. Let me know. I'll like to get into it.
He loves to discover new music, and now I get to take advantage of that as well. Yeah. So.
We've been playing a lot of what is in the stack because we're just hanging out. Is what we've been playing and listening to today, right? But so if we're getting in the top 5, right? I'm always gonna have a spot for like this 70, and this is another one of those. That other one actually was kind of wrinkled, but this is another one of those where it just puts a gloss and makes everything look gorgeous, right? But songs like Rock Creek Park, where it's jazz fusion funkiness. This is an extension of Donald Byrd's, one of the first ways I got into jazz. So he might not be everyone's favorite, but I have a soft spot for Donald Byrd because I kind of discovered backwards through Donald Byrd. It's kind of like my entry into jazz. Whereas a lot of people just take something like John Coltrane and Miles Davis, and then they just jump from there because like those are the names I know, or Thelonious Monk, it's whatever. So since we're getting the top 5-ish, right? I'm rambling meandering, and more or less this is going to turn into a recent finds video. But I figure if these are recent finds that my dude might appreciate, I might as well give him a shout out and try to fill his requirements. And like I say, I could care less if I'm eligible for the prize. I just want to give a dude a shout out, right? So Donald Byrd Chant. This has several different. You could look at my coffee table mess. That says still the original shrink, right? So there's a couple different. There's not a couple. There's several different presses. A couple different covers for this, right? I got this recently. I've listened to this a bunch. I got so much stuff, and I've been listening to some of this other jazz. I haven't even split this yet. So looking forward to that. But that's another one of those. Got this recently at.
Are you saving it for like a special occasion?
Actually, last time Brody hung out, he really enjoyed Donald Byrd. So I do kind of plan things you say like that, And then there's all sorts of stuff. Like I actually set this aside because I wasn't going to show in the video. This is kind of rare. Another rare find at Pharmacy Records. They got bashed on recently in a video, and I'm not trying to put that person on blast by literally sense by the blast, not like Andrew put someone on the spotlight. I kind of misused that earlier, but it was described inaccurately, and Frank's a good dude, and that's a good record store. So I'm not gonna call that dude's name out, but I'm probably gonna do towards the end of the year a best finds of Pharmacy Records because the place just has a tremendous amount of turnover. If someone steps in there on a random Monday, there's a good chance you just stepped in a day where after it got pillaged. And then he always finds a way to reload for the weekend. I found some great gems from psychedelic weirdness, like Silver Apples, the first 2 albums, both first pressed, all sorts of crazy stuff in Japanese presses, and Obi Strip, and alternate covers, and indie and punk rock hardcore albums, like one of 69, one of 500, one of 100 type weird stuff, alternate colors, and all sorts of random stuff, right? So we're getting we're still in the top 5 realm, right? This is probably one of my favorite jazz albums, period. But as far as ownership, this is also from Pharmacy Records. You can see how clean it is, right? So this is an early press, but not a first press on the Columbia. This album, for me, not for me, if anyone listened to it, is one album that there is nothing but vinyl record. And what I mean by that, this doesn't have a hiss, a crackle, or a pop. I don't know how many records that I have, unless they're just dead mint, brand new, I cut the seal on. For when you get to the point where, records are 30, 40, 50 years old or whatever. And this has a slight little ring wear on it. I'm not even going to take it out. This really, okay, you see it has a little ring wear on it. It's a black cover, so that always shows the worst things. It says the tiniest of fraying on the edges, right? But so when you see that, you're just like, okay, it's lived a life. It's had a little bit of wear and tear. Then the record should reflect that as well. This record sounds like nothing but the way it was intended to be listened to. This album plays beautifully. This is something I like to listen to at night when I'm kind of shutting my brain down. Chef life, maybe it was just a grinder of a day. You get home, you take a shower, and then you just kind of like veg out, relax, slam a ice cold water, and then just maybe relax to time with your lady, or a single alcoholic beverage, ease your mind, and then just kind of, free yourself from the burdens of the day. But it's Miles Davis. I know Andrew also I mentioned. I guess I'm just giving him multiple shout outs. He doesn't mind. He's so damn crafty and knowledgeable. He's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna do Miles Davis because that'd be cheating. I'm cheating. All right. Yeah, so this is as much of a request for help, right? And then one of those guys that's helping me also, besides Frank having gems at Pharmacy Records, Joe is pretty in tune with my musical taste, which is eclectic. So if he could focus in on all the little quirks you have with categories and subcategories is really cool. And I researched this after the fact, right? So the Young Ones, which is Duke Edwards, right, who played with Sun Ra. This is a kind of cool conceptual album. It's Too Late. And speaking of not to promote myself while I'm trying to promote someone else, Motoric 24/7. I did that labeled however it was in the Blue Room, actually talking music, right? And this was needle dropped in the background. So if you want to discover it on your own by just searching on YouTube, by all means, super cool, right? But this is an awesome album. It kind of has a slow build-up. I really, really dig it. I like the lyrical content. I like the music play on this. And this is one of my top 5 in the sense that since I've gotten this, I can't think of 5 more records that I've, so if this would be in the top 5, since I got this some month or 2 ago, that I've played more than this. I've probably dropped needle on this 7-8 times. With all the records I have that I'm always accumulating and have so much stuff to listen to, I've gone back to this a multitude of times. So I think that says something about it, right? And I'm not going to pull it out. It's on that Prestige label. Everyone knows. I can't remember. This is the black and yellow or the blue and silver, but I needle dropped this on a recent video. And if you're curious, right? And in the top 5, this would be in the top 5, and then you can see this is right here. Another thing I got, you could barely see the shrink in there because I have one of those really nice vinyl storage solutions on there. So it's kind of got this faux obi strip and the shrink tuned in here, and it keeps it so tight you can barely see. There it is at that angle. You can see the wrinkle of the shrink a little bit, right? So Ornette Coleman Trio is another one of those things. And I got another Ornette Coleman Trio that's going to be shown in the near future. I had this with the Dustin video where we made a martini and joked around and did a little homage to Mazzy and what have you, right? So this is another one of those things that I'm discovering jazz through, right? So if anyone is figuring out my jazz vibes through what I'm showing right now, hey, please give me a heads up. I'm always discovering more jazz, and I'm with that, right? I'm also with having a super tired, sleepy face because it's Sunday, and I need this coffee to kick in, right? And so while we're still in this top 5, I'm gonna double back and go 2 from the same artist. I'm gonna be cliche, and I don't think too many people can disagree with this, right? And I'm not deep enough on jazz to the point where I can just like tap out and not show Miles Davis. Respect to the people with the knowledge that can. It's freaking Miles Davis. It's kind of blue, right? It's just freaking beautiful music, man. It's got Cannonball Adderley on here. Oh, damn, there's John Coltrane's on this too, man. I guess, damn. I don't know if that... Forfeit me if you wish. No hard feelings, alright? But Bill Evans is on here. I got sidetracked, right? This is one of the many represses. This has infinite represses, right? It plays nice. This looks like it was open once where someone was discovering jazz because they felt obligated to it, and there's like, I don't really like this, which is fine by me because I do like this. So I'll pay for the discount, right? So and then while we're at it, right? Let's just get in the new stack, right? There's 5+ records. It gives you an idea of what I like and what I vibe with and what I go to and what I'm discovering, right? Like I say, I don't care if I don't qualify for the contest because I'm just giving love, right? And so let's get through this, power through the stack because I'm already at 15 minutes. And technically that could be the video, but I'm going to kind of 2 birds, 1 stone this, right?
Okay. All right. Nice.
So I've never heard this name spoken in regards to this artist, but I have heard and spoken this name. I've heard it as Owsley, and around here maybe Ousley. So I don't know if this is a Harold Ousley or maybe this is a Owsley, right?
Someone tell us, please.
This is 1980, and to the best of my knowledge, there's a promo copy of this one. This is never repressed, right? Excuse me. Allergies. No edits here. All right, I'm dying. Nope, I overcame. It's really superpower. I almost died. All right, so without getting into it, this is 1980, right? So I'll go and twerk this out here, right? So there's a label you don't see every single day, right? So Muse Records, with the little cheesecake, draw your eye to it. That helps. And then when you see stuff like Uncle Funky is the kickoff track, right? Sweet Double Hypnotist, which is cool. Come Get It, I Got It, and Feel Like Making Love. He does a couple different, group rotation here, and so there's a couple different bass players. A couple different percussionists, right? And so you can kind of tell some of these look like, by the way, tenor sax is what Harold plays. But you can tell that some it's like he's more working with the bass, and some is more working with the piano, right? And they're working off each other. It's pretty cool. But to sum this up, and there's some have kind of a little bit of Aladdin vibe, some's cool bass work. But to sum it up in the first sentence without getting these paragraphs is, I'm sorry, now I got like a hiccup. Sneeze thing just stuck, right? This is priceless. And this is where people just fast forward like, fuck this guy. I want my music to be danceable as well as listenable. Harold Ousley told me before leaving on a tour of Norway late in 1979. That's just what he got in Double Sweet Hypnotist. A funky, rhythmic, melodic, and colorful quilt of Harold's devising. So, yeah, I dig this, right? Alright, and then a little VC shout out here, right? Dan's Vinyl Channel, super good dude. He sent me something in the mail, a little package. Got some little nerd stuff and some stickers and everything. I'm going to show that. I got a video planned and that's going to go around, right? He also broke Dave Schlarb off with a gift. He's a family man who's hustling with 3 kids and everything, trying to get it back in the chair, right? So I'm going to save that for another day, and Dan will catch another little shout out love when that ends up in a video, right? But for me, he sent this in the mail, right? Super freaking cool, dude, right? So Nina Simone, Little Girl Blue, which is priceless because it is a green record and a green album cover. That's fine though. That's more, I think, a state of mind, right? So he said, and this is great. He wrote a letter, which I mean, I could read in the future. But he said, I found a OG of this, right? And I don't know how well this is going to show in the light here. This is just barely translucent. It's not transparent because you can't see through it, but it's translucent because light passes through it, right? So it kind of has a more rich, deep color in person. But so he's just like, until I find an upgrade. I'll be honest with you, man. If this plays as nice as it looks, I doubt I'm ever going to want to have to upgrade over this. Mm-hmm. But so thanks, Dan. I will be playing this in the very near future, right? So super dope. And then I'm going to pause 1 second, and then I'll see you on the B-side. All right, we're back. And then I guess I misspoke because we started on the B-side. We were listening to this anyways before we started the video. So we just flipped back to the A-side. So what you're hearing back in the background, if you can hear it, if it's loud enough, with the vocals of Stepping In Tomorrow, is the cut-in track, side 1, track 1, Stepping In Tomorrow from said Donald Byrd, right? So that's what's been in the background, right? And by the way, once again, I just looked at this. This rare gem. I mean, stream this. This is freaking awesome. This is just good R&B. All right. So while we're at it, I guess we're on some more Donald Byrd, right? If anyone watched our little series of when we took our overnight trip to Asheville, this was on here, and this is what we kicked our day off with today. Because besides playing Blood, Sweat, and Tears, because I just shouldn't breeze, and it tied into a joke where the album starts off with maniacal laughter. So I played a little maniacal laughter for my girl. And then on the B-side here, track 2 is Veronica, right? And there's vocals, which some people don't appreciate and don't want on the album. But what I really like, and I figured I'd talk about this just a hair, because I already showed this, but I went on to a big rant about the artist, the history of this artist, and this picture. So if anybody watches that was Harvest Records. If anyone watches a Harvest Records video and they actually care about this imagery and the artist and the history of that, it's a fun little tidbit rant I went on, right? But what I will say about this actual music is that there's some good bass work on this, and I really like the way Donald Byrd and the bassist work together on this. The vocals, some people may not like. I think the vocals on the A side are better than the vocals on the B side. And then there are tracks like, if I'm not mistaken, Veronica is instrumental. And so I want to say better than half of this album is with vocals, but there's still enough if people just want to get lost in jazz without vocals. There's enough of that, right? And then this is really getting good in the background right now. But of course, if I turn up the volume, then it's right when I turn up the volume is when it comes right out of that. But all right, back to background, right? Another pharmacy find right here. I'm building a nice little collection of Gil Scott Heron, right? And so ties to South Carolina, so probably the reason why you find it, right? Even if I didn't like this music, which I do, this is a non-glossy cover. So this is like a porous, kind of like construction paper cover. So these are always super prone to being dirty, filthy, and chewed up. And the fact that this is that minty, you know, is crease break's gone, but it's fine. The mildest of ring wear dirt right here, which might just wipe off, but it's fine, right? So there's I love gorillas and anything big dumb animal oriented on the album cover, right? So even if I didn't enjoy this music, this would probably be the type of thing. And then there's that old school Arista sleeve and baby blue label, right? And so
it'd still be the kind of thing you got.
It'd be the type, yeah. Like. And this is not terribly expensive, you know. And then depending on what part of the country you're in, this might pull more money elsewhere. But this is the type of thing I've also seen people say that I found this in a dollar bin, you know. And then you look it up on Discogs or whatever, depending on the album. You're just like, yeah, dude, that should be an $8 to $10 record, you know. And this isn't gonna break the bank for anyone. And let me not get sidetracked here. Usually, and it's fine that you're not right now. You're sewing and being crafty. So, yeah, let me just slide in there and get after, right? So I think we could do this under 30 minutes, right? I'm gonna get back into more serious stuff, but since we're in the realm of R&B, jazz, soul, funk, whatever, I kind of, you know, not trying to like segregate music or segregate people. I'm all about uniting things. But this is kind of all in the same realm. But you know, I like a touch of the silly. So this is that, okay? So a dollar record and a dollar well spent because I don't DJ anymore. I don't DJ anymore. Yeah. All right. Another sip of coffee.
Words I know you.
Chewbacca, help me out. It's not
Maybe actually that's the problem.
I do a better Chewbacca actually. What's that?
That you're drinking that with a Chewbacca, like it's making you start talking like him.
Maybe I'm becoming a Chewbacca.
That's what it is.
A Wookiee. I'm becoming a Chewbacca. It's so dumb. I'm
becoming an addict.
All right. But if you don't know, we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no. We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time.
No, we're having a great time.
But it helps though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does help. All right. So yeah, this is cheesy. I actually have another one of his records, which is priceless because if you were to own one of his albums, it would be this. That's brilliant. Rumor has it this is the gentleman that gave Magic Johnson AIDS. But so gossip, rumor. I just put it out there, right? It's a 30-year-old rumor, so why not just keep it alive, stoke the fire. But yeah, if I were to DJ again and keep it eclectic, you know, occasionally you just have to hit him with a silly one, and that would be the silly one, right? Yeah. So we already spent too much time talking about Jermaine Stewart, so I'm gonna move on, right? And then another find, right? Donald Byrd, A New Perspective. This is another one of those things where I'm just slowly filling out. I'd never find Electric Bird. I always flip through Donald Byrd to find Electric Bird. The same gentleman that egregiously belittled Pharmacy Records. It's so funny because he was flipping through the bins at Horizon. You know, and I go. I'm at least one of these 3 main record stores in Greenville, South Carolina, every week. You know, I'm going to at least one of them a week, and sometimes all 3 of them in a week. All right, so it's just funny. He found the Don Byrd, the one album that's the Don Byrd album, and I was just in that section 2 days before he was there, or a day before he was there. That's how quickly things can shift, and you're not seeing the turnover you want, right? But so you never really know. And at the same time, I got this from Pharmacy Records the day before he was there. So things turn over and flip, right? But so, super clean. It's that solid blue label, right? So Donald Byrd, New Perspective. Super happy to have it. Automobiles on the cover never really hurt my feelings. Pretty sure that's a Jag, but I'm having a brain fart because that's a weird angle zoom up, right?
Yes.
So I'm not going to get in that, but Herbie Hancock is on here. They work together a lot. I really like that. Hank Mobley's on here. Tenor sax is Donald Best. Kenny Burrell's on there. I know that name as well. I'm trying to do a better job of learning these players, which is really, really hard. But arrangements by Duke Pearson. Drums is Lex Humphreys, another name I'm familiar with, and bass is Butch Warren. Alright, so anyways, let's get that through. And I'm just going to blast through these because I showed some of these with John, while he was in the chair in my most recent video, so I'm certainly not trying to double down on shows, especially when I just showed him in my most recent video, right? But we had a good chuckle because she saw me show this Black Moses, and this is another one of those sleeves from Vinyl Storage Solutions. You can see how just crispy, smooth, flawless this is. Alright? But so, we had a laugh because you can watch the video. This is the one where it folds out like a cross or almost like a box, But, we're just like...
With him standing.
Yeah, so it's him standing, and the back side is a different version of him that doesn't quite fit.
You said it might be near damn life size.
You said it was life size, and I was like... then I said, not life size, but maybe Veronica size, right?
Yes.
And so, Mom's calling. Oh, well. Sorry, I'll get you back in a second, Mom. Alright, so
So we tried it.
And this is 6 inches shorter than Veronica. That's a lie. It's just under your chin. She felt tall, right?
I felt
So anyways, Black Moses, super clean condition, pharmacy fine. Super happy to have it. In that same video, I needle dropped on this Archie Shep / John Coltrane. John Coltrane / Archie Shep, depending on the way you want to display it. This is a super clean Impulse. Yeah, you watch the video, you can hear it. So sorry, I'm covering your face there.
Oh, you?
So, that's a recent find. And then I kind of misspoke on this, right? We're kind of blasting through, we're kind of riffing off each other. John and I, that is.
Mm-hmm.
We're hanging out all day, and it's come to an end, and we really enjoyed each other's company. Some of our best musical observations and witty banter were not on camera. And then by the end of it, we're just like, whatever. And so I kind of blind bought this, and I didn't even... I knew the band The Emeralds is what this band started off with, and they changed their name to the Mad Lads, right? And so this is the 60s, so I kind of described it as, if I'm trying to recall, or I'm paraphrasing myself, is like Vanilla Fudge without the psychedelic experience. And it's kind of that sense, but it doesn't really rock. This is into the 60s, and it is more of the classic, almost Little Anthony and the Imperials-esque kind of like doo-wop vocal work. So it's that old school R&B pop, right? And you would not know that this is a black R&B group in any way whatsoever by this cover, because it's just crazy, demented white cartoon people. And so I don't know how this would have worked for marketing, but
You said white cartoon people.
yeah, the people are the cartoon characters are white. All right. So no indications that this is tied to African Americans. By the way, I'm reading the appearance. I don't know if that was by design back in the day, right? So, and I also heard someone describe this as, in the comment section, as the Three Sons, the Dark Years. Alright, I don't know if that's politically correct, but it doesn't really, whatever. It's just the way it was described. But so this is the Three Sons. This was a $1 bin find. So I just bought this for the sake of silly cheesecakeness, right?
Yeah.
So I don't, yeah. We like butts and skulls. Yeah, we've been adamant about that in the past, right? And so this is, their heyday was the 40s and 50s. This is not a recent find, but this is also a pharmacy. This is a $1 bin for shits and tickles. But it was described as reminiscent of this group. So I pulled it out as a tie-in, right? And then, wrapping it up here, Brainstorm. This is almost like, it kind of at time wants to be Parliament, Funkadelic-esque, funky jazz fusion, but it feels like it's corrupted and tainted by disco, and that like the studios where their hands were overly involved in it. There's times where you're really vibing to it, and it's getting funky, and the vocals are cool. This album has more male vocals, and if you can see the group right here. So there's 2 female singers. They take turns harmonizing and then taking lead, right? And then the gentlemen are mostly subjected to background singing. This album has some more male vocal leads, whereas I pulled this out, I've had this for some time. This Brainstorm only has 1 track with male vocal lead, and that track is the best track, right? This probably has better, because this is earlier. I want to say this is like 77. The other one's 78. This has a little bit more better. This has a little bit more of better bass play and guitar play. The A side has some really cool funky chop and slap bass on it, and there's a really cool kind of like shredding but still funky guitar solo. I want to say the cut-in track on either the A side or B side is just I wouldn't call it inexcusable disco, but it's undeniably disco. All right, so there's a track or two on here that's undeniably disco, but you should probably find these, if you do find these, for the sub $5 range, you know, in decent condition. These are honestly, these are $2, $3, $4 records, and if you have a bigger record store that just carries straight heaters or mostly new stuff, this band Brainstorm you might be able to find in the dollar bin, right? So I just bam, and then I'm gonna exit on this. Also showed this with John, and we were just powwowing and getting through stuff. This is one of the first things I showed. I knew John and I were already going to go long. I tried to do this under 30 minutes and just failed. I really want to do this sub 30 minutes, but this is an ambitious stack to do so, right? And this Elmore James, I mean, a lot of people don't care about first presses when it comes to compilations, but at the same time, you usually don't find a lot of Elmore James in good condition, at least regionally. I know that could be different elsewhere. If you go somewhere like Chicago, Mississippi, Memphis, or whatever, where you might find jazz is more prolific, you might find it in better condition, right? But this is a comp from 1980. You can see on that Charlie label. And then it's just super stupid clean. There's a little bit of specks of dust from the white paper sleeve. But this is a first press, although it is a comp. In a really, really good condition. Another pharmacy find. And, yeah, give Blues a go. And then also, Blues Guy Vinyl is having a contest right now. I'm probably not going to slip it in. And then also, I'm not trying to be begrudging to him. I subscribe to so many people, but I'm weird about social media. She gives me a hard time because I've never done social media prior to YouTube. And, so some things I just do on my own. I don't think it's up to anyone to have to do their subscription list as public, or I keep mine private. I don't know why. I just do. I'm not hiding. Don't do anything. Don't stoke the fire. No, but I don't know. I don't.
Tell me in the comments.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, if I keep mine private, it's fine. It's whatever. It's car thing and home improvement stuff and woodsman. Like I'll say automotive, a lot of music stuff, pop culture, nerd stuff, comic book stuff. But it's mine. It's my list.
Guilty pleasure in there that you're just very ashamed of.
No, it's just private. It's mine. Okay, yeah, don't do that. There's no conspiracy. But anyways, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do any contest where someone's. I'll still give him a shout out and show him love, and I'm not trying to like crap on this individual. Like he has a contest. I'm trying to say, do it. But for me, I don't owe it to anyone to make anything public. If I give my word and I say that I'm a subscriber, then I'm a subscriber. I got disqualified from a contest recently. And that gentleman's like 15th subscriber and comment on all his videos. And so I'm still watching his videos. I'm not holding them against him. And, whatever, I had a fun time, showing him love and making a video. But anyways, I've been on a weird rant, right? So I'm just, if I choose to keep mine private, it's just it's a choice for a reason. The YouTube gives you a choice on whether you're not to display it. That's how mine is. I don't even know if I know how to go through my phone and change it because I'm not that tech savvy. I had a flip phone.
I could help you.
I'd bet help me do something I don't want to do. But I do appreciate the offer though. It's about the offer. Anyways, so we're ending with a rant, and now the goal is under 35 minutes because we got sidetracked. But do all these contests to the best of your ability. Choose what you can. Spread love. Listen to a multitude of music.
Give shout outs.
Give shout outs. Blues, jazz, soul, funk. Those are options. Don't be in your box. And then okay, you're a cat. Meow.